There's a sense of change in the air, not the kind that bends with culture, but the kind that feels ancient, rooted, defiant in its stillness. It's subtle, yet powerful enough to stir conversations across the globe. Whispers have turned into headlines, all because of one man, Pope Leo XIV. In the weeks since his election, something shifted in the soul of the Church. The fog of ambiguity is lifting. He didn't shout, he didn't perform, he simply spoke the faith. He spoke of the unborn, their silent cries unheard for too long. He spoke of the abandoned elderly, the unloved sick, the forgotten immigrants, their human dignity affirmed even when society looked away. He named the toxins weakening modern thought, relativism that blurs boundaries, leaving people floating in uncertainty, moral fragility, unstable identities. He called them out plainly, no euphemisms, no diplomatic dance. He speaks with a stillness louder than applause. No media-crafted narratives, no diluted messages. He opens scripture and lets it speak. He wears the tiara not for vanity, but to signal that the authority of the papal office is not borrowed from public opinion. It is divine. He prays the rosary in Latin, as centuries of saints prayed before him. He celebrates Mass ad Orientem, facing east, reminding us that worship is about turning toward the Lord. He restores symbols not for spectacle, but for substance. The tiara, the incense, the chant, they are not relics. They are reminders that worship is supernatural encounter, not self-expression. His early pastoral appointments speak volumes. He chose men known not for ambition but for holiness and humility, men like Bishop Miguel Angel, quiet, prayerful, formation-driven. This is a shepherd chosen to shepherd, not an administrator hired to manage. He quietly instructed cardinals to reread Vatican II, not through the lens of modern media narratives, but in continuity with tradition, saints, and Christ. He's not erasing the last 60 years. He's refusing novelty that fractures unity. He draws inspiration from popes past, the social zeal of Leo XIV, the clarity of St. Pius VI, the theological precision of Benedict XVI. But this is not imitation, it's rediscovery. He's taking threads from the treasury of the Church and weaving them into a garment for today. Not retro, but rooted. He calls bishops to be shepherds, priests to be fathers, not CEOs, not social work directors. The Church he envisions is a refuge, sanctuary, not selfie studio, where sinners are met with strength, mercy, truth, not cultural approval. And the youth, real youth, starved for depth, are listening. Not the plastic youth propped up by institutions, but the soul's craving challenge, meaning truth. They are kneeling again, confessing again, believing again. When you give the world a church that bleeds, praying, standing, enduring, people run to it even from the margins. The culture hears something other than marketing. It hears Christ. Not everyone approves. Some call him rigid, old-fashioned, uncompromising. They see his clarity as reversal. But Pope Leo XIV does not flinch. He knows the faith isn't a product. The Church is not a brand. And the gospel is not a slogan. It is the scandal of the cross, the invitation to resurrection, the claim on every heart. He is lighting fires, not starting revolutions. Fires in seminaries long gone cold. Fires in convents and cloisters. Fires in classrooms where professors wondered why students stopped asking big questions. Fires in the hearts of fathers who had grown exhausted. Fires in mothers who had forgotten how to hope. Fires in nations numbed by materialism, despair, relativism. He doesn't promise easy roads. He warns of the cost of discipleship. But he also assures of the joy, the freedom, the transformation that accompany surrender. He reminds us that holiness is possible and necessary. This is the Church of martyrs and mystics, of missionaries who marched into unknown lands with nothing but faith, of ordinary people who turned to incense and candlelight amid persecution, a church that sings Gregorian chant, smells like incense and candle wax, and stands when empires fall. That church is stirring. She is awakening. And at her center, with eyes like steel and a heart like fire, stands Pope Leo XIV. He is not loud, but he is clear. Sometimes clarity, rooted in eternal truth, is enough to shake the earth.